Imagine this. You wake up one morning and everything you hold dear is gone. Your job, your relationships, even your health, they've disappeared. How would you feel? Most of us would recoil at this thought, avoiding it at all costs. But what if I told you that actively imagining such worst-case scenarios could actually make you happier, more resilient, and more grateful? It may sound strange, even uncomfortable, but this practice has been around for over 2,000 years. It's called negative visualization, and it's a core teaching of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that remains deeply relevant today. But how could thinking about losing everything possibly lead to inner peace? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see how negative visualization is a powerful tool that can help you live a more meaningful, balanced life. Negative visualization, also known as premeditation of evils, is a technique where you mentally simulate the worst things that could happen to you. Instead of pushing these thoughts away, Stoics believed that by embracing them, you could prepare yourself emotionally for any eventuality. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca would regularly meditate on losing his wealth, his loved ones, and even his own life. He wasn't trying to depress himself, but to build resilience, to understand that everything in life is temporary and that clinging too tightly to external circumstances only leads to suffering. Imagine if every morning you spent a moment reflecting on what your day would look like if you lost something valuable, your job, your home, or even your loved ones. It's not about wanting those things to happen, but about training your mind to handle the possibility, so if they do occur, you're not devastated. So why did Stoics like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus see such value in negative visualization? Life is unpredictable, and we can't control everything that happens to us. Stoics understood this deeply. When you imagine the worst, you're emotionally preparing yourself. You're less likely to be blindsided by adversity because you've already made peace with the possibility. As a result, when hardship strikes, it doesn't shatter your world. It's something you can face with strength and grace. When we imagine losing something, we suddenly realize its true value. Think about it. If you take a moment right now to picture your life without your closest friend, your health, or even the roof over your head, you'll likely feel a surge of appreciation. Negative visualization isn't about being morbid or pessimistic. It's about recognizing the fleeting nature of life and being deeply grateful for what you have in the present moment. By mentally preparing for loss, you stop living in fear of it. The unknown becomes less terrifying. You learn to detach from outcomes you can't control and focus on what's within your power, your actions, your reactions, your mindset. And when you stop fearing the future, you can truly live in the present with a calm mind and an open heart. Now that you understand the why, let's talk about the how. How can you start using negative visualization in your daily life to build resilience and gratitude? Start by thinking about your most significant worries, things that frequently cause you stress or anxiety. This could be the fear of losing your job, failing at a project, financial instability, or even the death of a loved one. Write them down. Once you've identified your fears, set aside time to visualize each scenario in a calm, reflective state. Don't rush through it. Imagine what it would feel like to experience these losses. Picture the emotional impact, but don't allow yourself to spiral into despair. The goal isn't to panic, but to accept the possibility. Ask yourself, how would I cope? What could I do to move forward? After visualizing the loss, imagine how you would find meaning again. How would you rebuild? What inner strength would you discover? This step is crucial because it's not just about imagining the worst, but about realizing that even if it happens, you'll survive. You'll adapt. And often, we find deeper meaning in the aftermath of hardship. When practiced consistently, negative visualization can reduce anxiety and help you let go of fears that might otherwise paralyze you. By facing your worst fears in your mind, you strip them of their power. Suddenly, they're no longer these dark, looming forces that control your emotions. They're just possibilities, ones you're strong enough to handle. And with that realization comes an overwhelming sense of calm. You no longer live at the mercy of what-ifs. Instead, you move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing you've already mentally rehearsed the worst-case scenarios. Negative visualization also shifts your perspective on happiness. So often we chase happiness in external things, success, relationships, possessions. But when you practice imagining life without these things, you start to see happiness as something more internal, something not tied to circumstances. Happiness becomes an appreciation for what is, rather than a constant striving for what could be. However, there's a balance. Negative visualization, when done mindfully, is a tool for growth. But like any tool, it can be misused. The goal isn't to dwell in negativity or become a pessimist. It's about preparing yourself for life's challenges, not expecting them to happen. And it's important to pair this practice with positive actions. While Stoics teach acceptance of what we can't control, they also encourage taking meaningful steps toward what we can. Balance your negative visualization with a sense of purpose and optimism for the future. So the next time you're gripped by fear or anxiety, try this simple Stoic practice. Visualize the worst-case scenario, not to make yourself miserable, but to gain control over your emotions and to appreciate the strength you already have. You might find that, far from making you sad, this practice opens you up to a deeper sense of gratitude and peace. If this ancient Stoic technique resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content on mental resilience, mindfulness, and ancient wisdom. And let me know in the comments, how do you think negative visualization could help you face life's challenges? Let's start a conversation about it. Thank you for watching.